good evening and welcome to Off the Line Racing. It is time to get going for what will be the final quarter of this season on this game in F1 24. It is time for round 9 and we head over to the mighty Austria Spielberg. Oh my word, the Red Bull Ring. What a track to be at. 4.318 kilometers long with 10 turns, 7 to the right, 3 to the left. That left side tyre degradation is going to be brutal. It has 3 DRS detection points, 3 DRS zones for you to absolutely scrap it out. And that is all you want here in what is got to be the fastest circuit on the calendar. That aside, Monza, of course. My name is Corey Brooks, one of your 2 commentators for this evening. Join with me in the booth, it is the mighty Ryan Tenson. How are we doing, mate?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Very excited to be here. Hoping for a very good race. Obviously, Austria, because of DRS, turn 3, turn 4 especially, very good overtaking opportunities. Hoping to see a couple sends here and there as well.
Of course, as well, going up towards turn 3, like you mentioned, one of the places where you can absolutely send it up there and get some absolute amazing overtakes, but it's harsh on the brakes up into turn 3, just like turn 1 as well. You may get a run down towards turn 1, but you don't want to go side by side. That is not where you want to be in turn 1. Running off wide to that outside line, you are hit straight away with that sausage curb and can cause some drama. But here in Austria, we have 11 drivers lining themselves up, getting themselves ready for 18 minutes of qualifying. We will see one driver join mid-qualifying, Jack, the Haas driver who's been here all season long, to join in just a little bit later, just running a bit behind, but he will grace us on the track at some point. But I'm excited for this, Ryan. How are you feeling? Yeah, ready to see what may come?
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously had sessions in EU2 as well as the AM side as well, but none of them come close to these boys. I mean, these are some of the fastest boys going at the moment, so it's good. It's going to be good to see how close the field actually is.
Absolutely, and do not let us keep you waiting any longer. Qualifying is about to begin, so we go trackside. As you can hear, the roaring engine of the Red Bull. That will be Bobby Lyons currently I'm on board with. But we jump to the Kick Salbers, the drivers that are currently leading the championship, as Marius Anderson takes us away with the opening lap here. The banker time to be is at the front of that train you see coming around. They've got themselves out nice and early because with them having 18 minutes and with the lap times being so quick, you can get 4 laps in qualifying. Any mistakes, it doesn't matter. You can get those extra laps in. It's a bit more forgiving on time and how many runs you can actually pull out. We're on board with Marius now. He's about to cross that line, and that timer starts as he goes powering down towards turn 1 with that rear wing open. Now close as he sends it round to the right. Not using too much of that apex. Again, you've got to be careful of that sausage curb. Now around that little pathetic kink of turn 2. DRS aided once again before he's harsh on the brakes around about the 100-metre board. He'd be all brave enough to try and push those limits a little bit more as he comes down out of turn 3. DRS aided once again. It's absolutely brutal for overtaking in this first and second sector. He comes down to turn 4, tries to keep it tight to that apex, not running too wide on the track limits there. He needs to avoid that gravel trap on the outside to slow his momentum down. We're now towards the double left-hander, like we say, 7 turns are to the right, only 3 are to the left, and that being a double left-hander there of 6 and 7 done and dusted. Caught himself around 8, down towards the final 2 turns. A penultimate corner, turn 9. This is where you can maximise those track limits to get that extra time, as we see him out of turn 10. Does it well, crosses the line. It's a 3.9 for Marius Anderson. Smith crosses the line with a 3.5 and another 3.9 for the man himself, Ricky Chiaro. As you can see, the lovely owner taking to the track here tonight, ready to race it out here in Austria. But I know has been having a couple of technical issues along the line. Bobby Lyons to come up just behind the AMS driver in that V-carb with a 3.5 again. Ratty 3.9. So far, we have 2 drivers in that 3.5 area. Everybody else, look at that. They're in the 3.9s, Ryan. Oh, are you alive?
Leon, as he got his Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you cut out there for a second, but we do have you back.
Oh, very sorry about that. That's great. I was on board with Leon as he was starting his banker lap. He went wide on the exit of turn one, getting caught a little bit on that sausage curb, as you have previously mentioned. It's going to throw off, and then very wide out seven coming into a invalidate, so he came back into the pits instantly.
Yeah, a bit of a mic issue there from yourself. You're saying he's on board with Leon, but he's had a bit of a moment in invalidation maybe. Got himself back into the pits, but he is on another out lap. I'm on board with Malcolm Jonas, who's sort of invalidated that first run, but he did put the time on the board. I will jump on board with Leon to see what sort of time he's going to produce as he comes around on this outlap coming into sector 3 now. You are having a bit of a... Could you just check your connection for me quickly, Ryan, to see what's going on there? Your mic was cutting out dramatically then when you was trying to speak. Let's just see if all is well on your end. But I'll keep us on board with Leon, two-time OTLR champion, as he crosses the line after making that transition from controller to wheel. And he's coming back here in the closing end of the season with a little bit more pace than he had when he was going into the start of this season. He was contending for the top 3 positions, I believe, in Belgium, I think. He was having a right scrap in Belgium. And now here he comes in Austria to finish his sector 1 and into sector 2. DRS aided down towards turn number 4. What sort of pace can we see in one of the probably easier tracks to find your pace? But it's difficult to drop those tenths away. You sort of plateau. Once you know how to drive the track, you know how to hit those corners and apexes, it's difficult to scrape extra time. You don't want to push the car too far because you're already pushing it beyond its limits. But it is a... good sector 2 though for the Aston Martin driver. Leon coming back with a little bit of a bang in the final quarter rounds. It is round 9. There is only 2 rounds to go after this one, and one of them, well, 3 rounds I think, 10, 11, 12, I'm not sure. We'll have a look at the calendar, but it is a pole time from Leon there. It's a 3.4. That's a lovely lap to get yourself going. Oh, what's he doing? Easy now, easy now. Don't get too excited, boy. Got a little bit trigger happy there, went a bit wide in turn 1. Smith on a time lap now, looking to try and fight back against Leon, the reserve driver filling in that Aston Martin. Can the V-Carb challenge? It's only a few hundredths away.
Hello, am I back?
You are back.
Okay, good. Earphones playing up.
You are very delayed a little bit of delay, but hopefully we can get everything going smoothly again.
Am I?
But nevertheless, still on board with Smith. He's up. He's up by a lot out of sector 2. Really, really up on his time. This could be a challenge for the pole position. AMS Smith bringing the fight to the front. We see the Red Bull driver, Bobby, getting back into the pits. Not happy with what his lap was. Couple drivers in that striking distance there. It is a new pole position time, a 3.280 for Smith though. Leon needs to try and fight back. We'll go on board with the Williams driver Marquez as he comes down towards turn 4. Does he have any more pace in the tank? He has Nick up into P3 though. It's a good lap from him. We stay on board with Marquez as he comes around. He's invalid, so that's not any improvement to come his way. Ricky Chiado invalid out of the final turn. So that will not be an improved time for him. On the timing screen, Malcolm Jonas is on an outlap. Comes down towards the line to start that timer. Get that clock ticking away. Struggling here is the Alpine driver. Not with a time on the board as of yet. But there is still just under 10 minutes to go. Plenty of time to get his lap underway.
But now.
Yeah, you're lagging like crazy, Ryan. I don't know what is going on there. You're having some technical issues yourself, as well as the boss man. The boss man's having some form of technical issues with his wheel, and you're having some form of technical issues with. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it's your laptop or whatnot, but something is not right. Keeping us on board with William Jonas, the Alpine driver, yet to set a time on the board. Comes down towards the line. What can it be? It's a 3.82, so it's a good time on the board. Much needed. Oh. Anybody else to contend? Sorry, I missed that one, Myth. I was just messaging Ryan to see what is going on. But Leon now out on a time lap. Everybody else back into the pits. Myth got himself up there onto that front row, lining up just behind AMS Smith. Smith has taken 3 victories this season, lining up to bring VCAB to the top. But he's fighting away with Marius Anderson. Anderson down in P8. This is not good for him in terms of championship. But in terms of constructors as well, he does have his teammate Ratty lining up on the field with him. So it is 2 cars scoring potential points over the 1 car of the VCAB. Oh no, there's Nick, sorry. Nick filling in reserve in the VCAB. Needs to try and help. Who is Warfighter? Who is Warfighter? Who is that? I think that might be Jack. Alright, boom. I apologise that you're going to see this, but that is Jack, and I need to get Jack into said game, into said race. So, let's get Jack in here. Warfighter. What's his Jack? Come on then, Warfighter, get in here and get in the fight. Okay, currently on board with Leon, who is invalid. We'll look at Bobby though to see if he's on an improvement. Not, he's a half a second down. But Bobby is up into P3, so he's fighting away with that front row position, potentially. Oh, so Ryan's out of the VC. Hold up. Yes, yeah, right, Ryan, join the interview room. I apologise for this. We're having some slight technical issues, but we'll try and get everything going bonnet. We'll try and get everything going again whenever Ryan joins the waiting room. Join the waiting room. Ryan, there he is. Dragging him back in. Right, he's back in. Is that better? Are you any better? Ryan. Hello. Oh, the rain. Oh, it's raining! Well, we've just missed something dramatic. It started absolutely pouring down. Apologise for that, but that is qualifying done. Smith will take pole position. Nobody's going to improve on them conditions. That's it. It's raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. It's raining. Qualifying's done. That's it. That is it. That is your positions. That is how qualifying is probably going to finish. Nobody's going to improve on any times though, so. Smith, pole position. P2 is Myth. Are we going to have another Smith and Myth fight? You're dead right we are. Down into turn 1, we'd love to see it. See, that always confuses me that. You need to say Smith and Myth. So, 2 different drivers with a very similar name. But I'm guessing we can make do. I'm currently just writing down the qualifying order so I know where to put people. It's not good for the Kick-Sauber boys, I've got to say that. This is not good for the Kick-Sauber boys. They need points and they're lining up 8th and 9th. They're right down there. But they're getting points, they're just not getting as many points as they want to. You're sort of back, Ryan. You're sort of back, but you every time you speak, it's just broken and disconnecting and all sorts, mate. It's very confusing. But we're going to have to see what we can do for you. That was Mano. Is that everybody retired? I think that is. I think that's everybody retired. And that is qualifying done and dusted. Everybody diving themselves back into the pits and are done for qualifying. That is it. We are finito. Oh, no. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Oh, no. Please give me a final order. Please give me a final... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I don't know. I was in. That's a good thing I started to write it down. There we go. It was Ricky Manor, and then there was. I think there's only 12 in the lobby, so that's got to be Jack. That's got to be Jack down there in 12th. But we'll see it now anyway. We didn't really get a qualifying order there for you, but this is the time where we get ourselves back for our lobby restart, and as you can see, it is absolutely torrential rain. So I think the boys may have got away with this one, which means during the lobby restart, there is the potential for that rain to clear up and it be dry as we get ready for it. But I shall bring us back to the commentator's corner. And
I should be back.
Oh, that is
Hopefully.
much better. Much better.
Is it? Okay,
Yes.
so I'm just not going to be able to use my laptop for the Discord call, but I can still use it for Streamlabs.
Right, yes, fine. So we do have you. We have your camera. It is you look a little bit slow in that sense, but we have a commentator. Thank God for that. We have core comms. Qualifying's done and dusted, and that was a bit of a mad one, to say the least. The rain coming out of nowhere. I know that it wasn't the best qualifying, not the best to watch. Had to get through some technical issues. But 12 drivers on the grid, lining up. Smith on pole position. He's going to have to fight it out with Myth once again. This is VCAR versus Ferrari in this instance. The Kick-Saubers, who we can take a look at in terms of standings very shortly, are the ones that are leading in constructors. So the Kick-Sauber boys that are lining up 8th and 9th, this is not the best for them. This is where they want to try and fight back and get higher up in the points before the V-Carbs challenge them. Once again, the V-Carbs are right behind them. Bear that in mind. But for now, we'll take a quick little look at the calendar so you can know what's to come in these final closing rounds. We are here for round 9 in Austria. The Red Bull Ring. 10 turns of flat to the floor action on throttle for around, I don't know, 80% I want to say of the lap. So harsh braking zones, flat to the floor through corners. It's just the sort of circuit that you want to be in before we get over to round 10. I can't wait. It should have happened in round 4. It got moved to round 10, but it's finally coming and you can't escape it, boys. It is Jeddah, my favourite circuit. Absolutely love it in Saudi Arabia. 27 turns, and that sector 1 is absolutely dangerous. You need to be on the ball, on the money, absolutely full focused. You cannot afford a mistake in sector 1. To say the least, wing damage will destroy your race. We just saw the real life Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and what can happen if you are not careful in sector 1, especially in the likes of qualifying. But everything else, it goes over to Interlagos in Brazil. That is where a season should finish. But we finish off this season 3 for round 12 in Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is where things are going to get interesting, I've got to say, Ryan, because I've learned recently that Bahrain is dangerous for the terms of track limits, I would say. Not even so much that, it's the grip limits on the track. It's like driving on ice. Like, you can qualify, plenty of grip, feels amazing. As soon as you've got that high fuel load in that car, you're skating all over the tarmac. It's absolute chaos. So the final round in round 12, Bahrain, is going to get interesting.
Yeah, as you said, with grip levels at Bahrain as well, the tyres as well, it's very difficult to keep them in a good window degradation wise. Obviously, very known for eating up at the tyres. We could see a couple of punctures there, maybe. As to the spice for the last day of the season and on this game as well.
Well, I've got to say, in Season 2, you mentioned the puncher. We did see Leon, the Season 2 champion, last time out. We drove a Bahrain Grand Prix. He went one lap too many, blew out that rear left tyre. So Season 2, Bahrain, we saw a driver get a puncture and his race was ruined. So Season 3, do we have a repeat procedure of what could be? Or will the drivers get themselves through what has been known to be some questionable grip limits safely without any incident? But now, I'm going to take us on to the drivers' standings. Ryan, if you could just take us away with that ever so shortly while I get this grid set back up.
Yes, so our top 5 in the drivers is still very on for I would say all the drivers involved, mainly the top 3. But as it stands at the moment, we have AMS Smith leading our way on 92 points, closely followed by the Kick Sauber of Marius Anderson on 88. In third place, we have Banana there in his Mercedes with Tig, who I believe is no longer actually with us, in fourth. And then in fifth, round it out, we have Maloom there in his lovely little Alpine. But constructors wise, again, it's still all to play for, especially between the RB Honda and the Kick Sauber. As Corey, you have mentioned previously, Kick Sauber is leading our way here on 161 points, followed only 3 points behind is that RB Honda, with Mercedes in third, McLaren Mercedes there in fourth, and the lovely green of the Aston Martin sat in fifth.
Yes, the things are starting to get a little bit spicy. The V-carbs can still catch. See, Marius Anderson, Kicks Albert driver, looking to catch in terms of drivers' standings. So that's something that you can't count out just yet. It is still could happen for Marius Anderson, but he's also attacking for drivers and defending for constructors. So it puts a lot of pressure in that sense on him. I'm confident of all the drivers here, Marius Anderson is the one who can handle that pressure and potentially pull it back in the final closing rounds. This is where things are going to get interesting. I'm just going to quickly pull that driver standings back up a little bit because Myth, you can see in P6, was not in your top 5 that you called out. The Ferrari driver is 6th there in the standings and challenging your leader here today. So qualifying was close between Smith and Myth. Now, who is going to come out on top in Austria? Could we see Myth excel in the order? A victory here would be very much needed. It would see him up P4, jump ahead of Tig, who's no longer driving with us, who was a contender for the championship, no longer here to drive with us. And, you know, it's just one of those things where he'll now essentially fall down these standings and everybody else progresses upwards. But I'm excited to see if Myth can bring that fight to Smith. Smith has had 3 wins this season, so can he stop him from getting that 4th? It's not been 3 back-to-back. It's been hard-fought battles. It's been drama, heartache, and some controversial moments, to say the least. But as we get ready, because we are pretty much ready, boys, so I'm going to put the call in the chat that everybody can ready up. We are good. Everybody can ready up to get going for the Grand Prix. It's going to be an interesting fight, I've got to say. But Kick Sauber's defending champ constructors, while a VCAL driver needs to defend the drivers. So, I don't know. It's up in the air. I missed out last week on, I think, who took the win last week? Myth, I think, did win last round out in Baku. So, first victory of the season, looking to challenge for second victory of the season. Could potentially a comeback towards the end for Myth to fight up against Smith. Oh, who knows? Who knows? I'm excited.
Corey's excited, I'm excited. I think everyone else is back into the season now as we do look at getting into round 9 here in Austria with 36 laps of close racing is to be expected. Sorry, for my poor English.
Not all gravy, all gravy. Don't forget though, if you want to get involved in this race and Season 4 sign-ups, keep your eyes peeled on the Discord for some information. Season 4 sign-ups on the F125 game. Ready, we're in, we're cooking, we're starting to make it happen. The F125 is not going to go without any action. We are getting straight into it, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Join that Discord. Season 4 announcements are coming soon. That I can tell you. So, wait for the drop. That's all I can tell you. Wait for the drop. But Season 4 information, spicy details of what is to come, certainly on the way very shortly. But don't have any more information than that on the stream. Maybe later on towards the end of the season. Last stream, maybe get some spicy drops and information. I'm no longer up there in the admin team. I'm just the head steward and commentator. So, you know, my hands are tied. I only get given brief little bits of information. So, we'll see what is to come. Season 4 is on the way for the next game cycle. But we're going to end F124 with a bang as we get going here in round 9. The drivers are at the track, getting themselves ready. We're going to go trackside. Oh, ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. And as you can see, the rain isn't pouring. Not like it was on that lobby restart. Things have settled down. It is dry. But that is not to say that rain can't come. This could be mixed conditions because that sky is looking a little grey, Ryan.
It's looking very grey. We could be seeing rain maybe within the first 10 to 15 laps, which would fold in quite nicely for when the pit window is to full. But it's a matter of how wet and how quickly the track wettens, whether these drivers go onto the inters or onto the full wets.
Well. 10 turns to figure it out per lap. So as the rain starts to pour, the conditions get a little bit treacherous. If the rain is to come, you see that it's not guaranteed. It's not here yet. It could come. Never say never. Could happen. Could potentially happen later down the line. But for now, it's dry. The sky's looking grey. There's no sun, so temperatures could be a factor here. They've got that full fuel load on. They're going for 36 laps. This first stint is going to be crucial. Now, I'm not too sure in terms of tyres what the strategy could be here. Could they go long on hards? Are the hards up to the standard, getting them the grip that they need to push on for the rest of the Grand Prix, like to do a long stint? Are they going to be able to stay within DRS? 3 zones from Sector 3 to Sector 2, like straight away, you come down that pit straight, cross the line, you go into Turn 1 and you've got DRS, you go into Turn 3, you've got DRS, the fighting is going to be everywhere, so if you can stay there, go long on those hards, could be the strategy to play for. But we've just heard the beeping. The drivers are getting ready. The lights are lit. Everybody's ready. It's 5 lights. The grid is hot. Everybody's roaring to go. And it's lights out and it's go, go, go. Smith gets away well. Miff gets away well. But look at Bobby. Bobby on the charge straight away. Looking for an inside line into Turn 1. Sending it on Miff. The Ferrari driver's off the track. Slight contact between Red Bull and Ferrari. Bobby falls down under attack from Leon now behind. Smith has got away beautifully. He's 6/10 clear. And look at that. As they go 2 by 2 down the order. Bobby trying to fight back. Myth's gone wide again. He's really misjudging those braking points. He's really under attack. He's fell down to P5. But here comes Nick for a charge for P2. P3 if he can get past Bobby. Oh no, he's looking for the P2. He can't get there. He is up into P3. That's a slide from Leon, but he corrected it well. Nick's had a charge up there for points in constructors. The V-Carbs are doing well. But Leon using the optimistic move there, capitalising on his ghost state, trying to stay well within reach of Nick, but Nick has taken that P3 with ease, and Smith has got a 1.2 second gap off the race start. Can you believe it? He's broke DRS already. That leaves Bobby open to attack from behind. Wow, what an opening lap. I don't know about you, Ryan, but that was chaotic.
It was absolutely hectic, Corey. Going round every corner, it looked like there was going to be contact left, right and centre, but everyone seemed to keep it nice and clean. Haven't seen any debris yet flying across the track. We don't know about laps to come. Obviously, all the cars still very close together. People still fighting wheel to wheel. Anything could happen in the next couple of laps.
Oh, yeah, we have moves going down the order. We see that's a ghosted Marquez. He's going to fall behind. Can Ricky push on through? Ricky does push on through as well. Marquez trying to fall back in the order and try and defend it well further ahead. The scrap yet to come, not to come. And somebody, Mario Jonas, is in the wall. He's out of it. He's gone straight on at turn 4. Where's he gone? The Alpine is out. And that is not a safety car. He's so far off the track, it's not even necessary. The marshals can just wheel him out of there, and the race continues. Oh my word! I just heard it. I didn't even see anything. I just heard the bang into the barrier.
I was on board with him as that happened. It looked like either a lockup or his wheel or his controller or whatever he is using has disconnected and it's just sent him into the barrier. Still full throttle, just made his car absolutely implode on itself.
Wow, that is crazy. And there we see the VCAB 1-2 as Nick gets ahead of Leon there. And Smith still bridging that 1.5 second breathing space. He is absolutely chilling.
He is absolutely chilling, but Ratty isn't. Ricky getting very close. Going into turn 3 there to the rear. It looks like he could be lining up a move coming very, very shortly, which would not be good for that Kick Sauber's championship fight. Obviously, as we have stated, they are currently having to defend for this Constructors, yet they're still so far down in the order this race. They need to find this pace, not worry about what's behind them, but worry what's ahead.
Absolutely, they need to stay within that DRS. They cannot afford to lose it. Any driver here, like Mano, he's on the cusp. 9/10 separating. It's getting sketchy. What is going to happen here? He could lose the DRS, and then he's under attack from that Williams behind. Jack potentially, but now we see Leon with that DRS going for an attack. Here comes Myth trying to charge back through the field after he lost all those positions at the start of the race, side by side with Nick. Nick's trying to defend it. Slight contact. There's a ghosted state for Nick, and here comes the Ferrari trying to capitalise on it. He's looking for an inside line. Could be a send down into turn 4. There it is. Later on the brakes. Gets that apex, but around the outside goes Nick for defence. He's almost off the track and causing contact. He's forced to slow down. Bobby's forced to react, and now Bobby looks for an inside line. Can he make it through? Just not quite yet. He did try for it. The Red Bull going for the opportunistic move, just not quite there. Leon has almost breached a 1 second gap. He's almost pulled away. This is exactly what Leon needs to do. Needs to get away, stay out of pressure from behind, and Bobby sent into a ghosty state once again. The Red Bull almost heading himself in an unfortunate incident. Leon flying, fastest lap taken, 10-second penalty, retirement in the pits from Marquez, and that's a pressure off Jack's shoulders as Jack is definitely getting points for the Haas.
That is very good for that Haas team, as we were saying. They do want to start getting a bit more points on the board. And even if it's one, I'm sure they would be very happy down with just the one. Preferably more, but who knows? You could see more action leading to more crashes a bit later in the race, which could bump down the order.
Oh, sorry, I'm just getting a bit sketchy on board when Nick there. Nick was going for a move on Myth and just got a little bit too eager on the throttle. That could have been disastrous.
That could have been very disastrous. He had a bit of an issue with Ricky about a lap ago at turn 9, which sent Bobby, into that ghosting state. And since then, it's looked like he's been out of groove a little bit. He just wants to find that pace, find that groove again, as he is now. As we look at heading down into turn 1, everyone battery saving, looking to maybe make some moves into turn 3 and turn 4.
Oh, Leon had a bit of a snap. He saved it well. Saw that front end snap left and right. Did manage to correct it. Nick recharging the battery. See, now they're being smart. They've attacked all out at the race start. Now they're just waiting for the opportune moves with the DRS. They're all trying to catch back up to that 1.2 second lead. Here goes Myth through on Leon, making it easy. Bobby with a huge send. dives into that gap, and potential switchback for Nick coming his way as he did get the traction down better. He did get that line. They're still side by side. Bobby's trying to defend it into turn 5, into turn 6 even, and he's forced Nick almost into the gravel though with that slight wheel banging. Did defend the position. Now Nick's forced to defend against the Kick-Saubers. One went through. Here comes number 2. Can he get on through? Yes, he does. Right, he pulls ahead. The Kick-Saubers getting the points where they need them the most, pushing that V-car behind. The Kicks needed to get through and finish ahead of at least one of the V-car boys to help them in that constructors fight.
There is not going to be much love between the two teams. They're both fighting tooth and nail for that constructors title, and every point now, even if it's just one, as the V-carb goes deep into turn 3, sorry, having a bit of a lock-up there on what seemed to be the front left. I believe that's where the smoke coming from.
He was trying to push it a little bit too much. He's opened the door. Can Ricky get through? Not quite. Oh, that could have been good there. Nick is struggling. I think he may have cooked his tyres a little bit. He's certainly struggling. Big lock up into turn 3. Almost running wide into turn 4. He comes around turn 7 and 8 now. I don't know, he's losing time. He's struggling. It was a 1-2 for the V-Carbs, but no, I don't know. It's a little bit unknown. But here comes Leon. Can he come on through on that Ferrari driver? They finally caught back up to Smith ahead. So what looked to be a beautiful gap and a beautiful bit of fresh air for Smith is now closed down as that train started to catch back up. Myth's now going for the attack. Yours to the outside line. Gets it done before they get to turn 3. But now Smith will have the DRS to fight on back. That rear wing is open. Will he make the move now, or will he play the long game?
Nick there wanted to have a little bit look sorry, tripping over my words. Wanted to have a look around the outside there of Anderson in the kick, but it seemed like he got a bit squeezed out, leaving him to be just preyed on by Ratty. Bit of moment there. These Kick-Saubers very much working together, know exactly what they need to do to make sure this RB cannot make any moves on them.
Well, that could have been disastrous. Nicky's struggling. I've got to say, Nicky's struggling. Here comes Ricky! Go on, lad! He's had a run out of the final turn. He's got that rear wing open. He sends it down, gets ahead before we even get to turn 1. Out of nowhere, just got a beautiful run out of that final turn, and he got the move done. Oh, here he goes! He's sending it again! 2 corners, 2 moves done, and 2 positions gained. Sets himself in the middle of a Kick-Sauber sandwich, but, well, all of a sudden, he's just come alive. Nick now looking to retake positions on Ratty. They've been scrapping it out for a few laps, and he's almost lost it again. Ratty looking to fight back again. Just Nick barely scraping through. Here comes Leon and Smith around turn 6, down to turn 7. Leon keeping his foot in the door. There's contact and wheel lock in between the two. But through goes Leon. And now here comes Bobby to the outside line. Can he get through? No, he can't. Smith retakes that P3. Ooh, action, action, action.
3-second time penalties going up and down the grid, and during that bit of action, I'm not sure if you saw it, Corey, but Anderson has lost his front right end plate. He has damage after contact with, I believe it was with Bobby, if I'm not to be mistaken. He has damage that's really going to hinder his pace, especially through sector 2. A lot windier.
Oh, here goes Nick on Ricky! Big send, big boy send. Almost rear-ending Marius Anderson ahead. Nick goes through. Sorry to cut you off there, but that was huge.
Never apologise for cutting me off, Corey. You're seeing more of the action than I am. I'm only seeing a couple cars at a time. You're seeing everyone at one time. But no, he's got damage, and this is where it's going to hinder him most, Anderson. He's having to try and stay on the back there of Bobby. He's doing it well. He's not really losing too much time, but he's going to have to look at pitting fairly soon if he wants to stay close.
Well, he is doing very, very well to stay right on the rear tail of that Red Bull. He's coming out of the final turn now. It's Marius Anderson looking to go all-out attack to try and make positions before he is ultimately held back 7 seconds in the pits while they get that wing changed. This is going to be treacherous for his tyres, but this is the thing. He only has 3 turns to the left. Now, that is where the most load is going to be on that right-hand side. So, the left side wing still being fully operable, it's probably doing him favours.
Very much so, yeah.
Like, he's the physics of the car, it's just able to handle it. Look at him there, he's not struggling as he comes around a right-hander, but now we go to the double left-hander. Is he going to lose time? Is this where it's going to be the factor? He sends it round, he drops a couple of hundredths, not too much, not too shabby. I think he's deploying battery as he comes out of the exit of turn 6, not to lose too much time. And then he's just able to hold it out in 7 and 8 to stay right on that rear tail of the Red Bull. He's doing very well to manage that damage when he needs it. Honestly, I've got to say, props off to the Kick Sauber driver. Props to Marius Anderson. He's doing well with damage. That end plate's gone. And in a track like this, though there's not many corners to lose too much time, Bobby, though, almost getting a bit too friendly with that sausage curve. That could have been bad.
Marius Anderson very much showing why both him and his team are...
Oh, here goes Nick! Another big boy send! Oh, he's lost his end plate! Big contact with his teammate. There's damage. Is that Nick or is that Smith?
I think it's Smith.
Oh, Smith has lost the end plate. Was that Nick's fault?
The man who is in the fight for this race lead now has damage, and we're still, what is it, 20 laps out? 24 laps out?
Yeah, like that's... Oh, Nick has absolutely gone way too far in, absolutely. Nick had just gone way too late on the brakes. He's hit his teammate. Did he cause that? I mean, Smith is going very, very aggressive on the defence against Nick, though. Angry driving. He's looking for a switchback. Nick's only a reserve driver. You've got to take that in consideration. Smith is the championship leader. The V-carb driver is going for championship. And the reserve teammate is absolutely scrapping with him.
He's scrapping with him, and he's costed him. He's costed him a huge chunk of this race. He's now going to lose an extra 7 seconds in the pits to get that front wing change, which is going to allow Myth, his championship rival and the current race leader, even more time to get away from him, which is just going to help him more than anybody.
Oh, there's a right scrap going on here, and it's opened the door for Ricky Chiado to bring the fight, and he slots in between it. Oh, wow! Somebody hose this man down. He's just here to be a menace. He just slotted himself in nicely there between Ratty and Nick, who were scrapping it out, took the opportunistic move, and Ricky just slots himself in between Nick, falling down the order. And yeah, I agree with you there, Yasko. He's a bit deserved after that huge send on his teammate. Ricky going on for a defensive line though. And now we take our eyes back to the front as there seems to be a challenge for the lead. Here comes Leon, 2-time OTLR champion, dives up ahead using that DRS, makes it easy as he comes up into turn 3.
Very much so. All the drivers are still very close together. Even after 14 laps, we only have 2 seconds separating the top 7 drivers.
Oh, Bobby's trying to fight it out though with Myth. I don't know. Not quite there. Not quite there. He tried. He got his foot in the door.
Got his foot in the door, but the door got slammed, as I like to say whenever that happens.
Absolutely broke that man's ankle. Get out of here.
Oh.
Marius Anderson, even with that wing damage, still, he's trying to fight Bobby. He's still got his foot in the door. He's still trying to make a door open, to say the least. He's banging on it. He's booting it. He's brought out the breacher to try and open that door, and he's all over the tail of that Red Bull. Could we see a podium on the way for the Kick Sauber driver? He needs to get further up there to secure the constructors, to say the least. It's what he's fighting for, but he also needs to finish ahead of Smith. He is ahead of Smith in the meantime. if he can outscore him, we could see a new leader in the championship. So let's give it a rundown. Smith, 92 points. Marius Anderson, 88 points. He only needs a 4-point advantage, and he will take the lead of the driver's standings. And here we go. Bobby almost having a run on Myth. Can he pull it through? He's still sticking it to the outside line into turn 5. He's off the track and in the gravel, but he managed to get back on the track, and Myth defended that position.
Myth defending very well, showing us what it means to be in a championship fight, as well as a what it means to be up there, or just in the race alone, showing us exactly why he is one of the top contenders for this season.
Myth just absolutely charging in this closing part of the season. Absolutely charging. And here he goes to retake the lead of the race. I mean, he won last time out in Baku. Could he make it 2 for 2? 2 in a row for the Ferrari driver. Myth is looking to claw back in this second half. In this final quarter, we are round 9 at the moment. 12 rounds in this season, and he could make it 2 for 2. And then we head over for round 10, Saudi Arabia. Will it be 3 for 3? Much needed points to fight back and get up in the standings when it's needed most. I've got to say, Leon, though, you know, he is a 2-time champion. He has made that transition. Hasn't been on pace this season. Currently sits himself down. He's not even in the standings in the top 10, to say the least. He's not there, really, is Leon. But he's in reserve. He's a reserve driver at the minute. And has taken 2 championships. I believe taken a Constructors as well with one of his championships. And here he goes to fight it out, making that transition to wheel. But he's certainly finding his pace, finding his footing once again, and showing that he is a contender, absolute contender for victory. Oh, Ricky picks up a 3 seconds. So he is fighting for position with Smith and Nick, as Nick goes on through with DRS. Slow down a little bit, Ryan. Slow down a little bit while they try and mitigate their tyre wear. Let's have a little look at the tyres. Everybody's on hards, apart from Mano. 9 laps on those mediums. 10 laps for Jack on the mediums as well. So they are boxed early on. Potential 2-stop on the way. Everybody else running those hard compound tyres. So they are going long. Was a prediction of mine to go long, potentially try and extend in that opening stint, and then, you know, and see what happens later on. Who's going to start this wave of pit stop strategies?
Whoever bites the bullet first is going to very much be a bit of a duck and a bit of a test dummy for everyone else who boxes a little bit later, because they could see that they're struggling very early on and just push their hards even longer, and maybe either go onto the mediums for only a couple laps, or possibly, if they could stretch it for long enough, maybe even some softs coming into play.
Right, he's still fighting it out with Nick behind as Leon tries to retake the lead of the race, as he's done so. It's been tit for tat. He's had a moment coming out of turn 3, not able to get the power down, and a bit of a little kicker of the rear, and now might need to defend against Bobby, but he doesn't. He's fighting it for the lead once again. Bobby may have the open door to push on through. He gets through 1. Can he get through 2? He's going to try it. Looks to the inside line into turn 6. Can he pull it off towards turn 7? Not quite. Falls back in line, but it's P2 secured. The Ferrari driver pushed down to P3 into the clutches of Marius Anderson, who's doing very, very well to stay where he is with that damage. He's still there, missing that end plate.
Very much missing that end plate, as you said. So are so many other drivers, both of the RBs. For example, after Nick costing his teammate there some valuable time, they could have used to try and pull away from Myth a little bit, which is allowing Myth a lot more into this championship fight, and everyone taking points out of Smith.
Bobby's up into the lead, fighting Leon there. That could get a little bit dicey, a little bit spicy as Leon tries to pull on through. Here comes Myth. Myth gets 1. Can he get 2? He's going to try and get past. Maybe double overtake into turn 4. Not quite there. Oh, sorry to keep cutting you off, but the action's starting to unfold. Maybe the pit stops are gonna come soon. They've almost done 19 laps on these tyres. If they can push it, 21 laps, maybe 22, slap on those medium boots and get going to the end of the Grand Prix.
Very much so. Could be seeing pit stops coming in just a couple of laps time, and that's where we could see some drama starting to unfold. A couple of people jumping in the pits, maybe some 10-second time penalties if people can't slow down enough as well, maybe.
Well, the tyre wear starting to play a factor on some drivers' minds. Struggling. You saw Leon lighting up the rears a little bit. Myth goes back through to the lead. Leon trying to take P2 away from Bobby. Does so. Here comes Ratty trying to fight against AMS Smith. Can he get through and make it a kick sal before 5? He's trying to. Rear wings are open. Smith has got a run on the outside line. He will be stuck with that outside line unless Ratty falls back in the order. He does so. AMS Smith trying to go a little bit late on the brakes, runs a little bit wider. Ratty still trying to get on through. I've got to say, that Kix Albert likes the exit of turn 4. He likes turn 5. Ratty is able to get a rundown out of it.
Absolutely loving the second sector is that Kix Albert. We could be seeing maybe even a double podium or a P3, P4 finish for those Kick boys, which could be very, very juicy for their championship lead.
Yeah, I agree. Got to agree, though. They're trying to defend constructors. Not only that, Marius Anderson may be looking at a championship here. So we had 2 for 2 for Leon, 2-time back-to-back champion into Season 3. The crown shall be passed, so it seems, to either Smith or Marius Anderson. Marius Anderson, probably the favourite I'd go for. He was here Season 2 fighting his way through the field, trying to get the best result possible. And here in Season 3, coming back as a championship contender, you love to see it. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him take the championship. He's just been there all season long, consistent point scorer, doing it for the Kix Albers in constructors. It's just how it is. And he did have a good teammate, Ice Cream, who was dropped to reserve. Ratty now taking that full-time seat to fill in for the Kix Albers. It's big boots to fill, because Ice Cream did get some good points. I mean, he is still in the standings. He's 7th there, whereas Ratty is not even in that top 10. So Ice Cream did well for Kix Alba. Now in the reserve seat, he's replaced by Ratty. And Ratty's doing well as well. He's there. He's fighting. He's been really charging against Nick all race long, trying to separate those V-carbs. And it's exactly what he needs to do for the constructors. It's his job, in a sense. He needs to make sure that he finishes ahead of a V-carb, because they are the ones that they're fighting against.
Very much so. Marius Anderson, I would say, needs to more focus on just outscoring AMS Smith, as he is doing here in Austria, 22 laps in. But in that meantime, I think he really needs Ratty just hammering away at just getting in the rearview mirrors of both of the RBs, putting a bit of fear in their heads, bit of doubt, and we all know doubt kills championships.
Absolutely. See, it's good you mentioned that. Something that's not talked about a lot is that mental component. Every driver must be mentally prepared to win a race, to be a championship contender, to say F the system when you need to, and to go for those risky moves. Ricky Chiado started the wave of pit stops. He's gone for the undercut. Oh.
Sorry to do a bit of an Ratty and Nick have both just dived into the pits, and Ratty has just gone into the back of Nick. He looks like he has lost part of his front wing. I'm not too sure. It did look like a bit of debris did come off of the car, and that is right. Ratty is missing his front right end plate.
I've got to say, Ricky's gone for an undercut here, and he's undercut 2 already. Beautifully done. Out comes Nick, out comes Ratty. Nick is right behind in DRS potential. So could he attack Ricky Chiaro? Ricky, though, will have the warmer tyre now, as Nick has just come out of the pits. So Ricky's already done that 1 lap. He's got that cold tyre phase out of the way, and will now try and push on and try and gap Nick while he still can. But Nick is going to get those fired up very, very quickly. And look at how close he's already. He's still within that striking distance. 2 tenths separating them. change of the lead. The pit stop strategies are starting to unfold. Leon comes in. Smith comes in. This is where things start to spice up. Let's get that tyre graphic on the screen for the viewers. We can see what is going to come. So we'll go back to the fight between Ricky and Nick, as that is the challenge. This is where the undercut comes into play. Where is Ricky going to place himself now? He's going to be up there. He's going to be in the fight. Here comes, crosses the line. The drivers are in the pit lane. They're driving down there. He jumps up again ahead too. So that's P4 for Ricky Chiado. And it is position. I mean, he has that penalty looming over his head, but he's not letting that bother him. Here comes Nick. He did get the DRS, did Ricky, to try and defend. He's not going to defend too hard, or is he? He's going to go for the outside line. Is there an undercut, or is there a potential switchback to play? You're dead right, there is. Here comes Ricky Chiado, looking for the switchback. He's side by side with Nick, and he gets it done. Nick don't have the DRS. It was just like taking candy from a baby, using that mental component, using that smart racing etiquette to pull off that overtake. Just what you need to do. Now, he's going to try and get ahead of the front three. In go Myth, Bobby, Marius Anderson. Can Ricky take the lead of the race here?
Very much possible. 20 seconds, remember, is the time lost in the pits. He is trailing Myth, by a total of 17 seconds just before coming round turn 9 there. We could see him, and I think we will, making his way into the lead of this race.
It's a strategy masterclass. That is absolutely crazy. And he's challenging. It is for position. And Nick has a penalty. Leon has a penalty. Smith has a penalty. He's right there in the fight for the win. It's a strategic masterclass to get himself back in the front, charge into the front of the field. Now needs to fight back against these runners. Got the DRS, and he's right back in the fight. I can't believe I've just witnessed that.
I am in absolute awe of the racing here today. But do remember, Ricky is on a couple lap older mediums. So towards the end of this race, towards the end of the stint, he is going to be struggling a bit more than others. He needs to keep his head on track, not worrying about the cars behind him and around him. He just needs to focus on keeping those tyres in check.
We are going to take a look at the penalties so you can see those front four drivers, 3 seconds. Mano is going to get disqualified at some point with 24 seconds, and Jack's on 9. So, I mean, Ratty is going to win if he doesn't get a penalty. It is going to happen. Ricky overtaken by Leon. He's going to start. He just needs to stay there. Come on now. Don't start falling down the order. You've had a strategic masterclass. Leon goes for the lead of the race. Does take it with ease. Myth down to the back of the field after he was looking good for the race victory. It's 1 lap too many. But Ratty is on for the victory in terms of time penalties. This is unofficial unless we see some steward reports come that way. Here goes Smith trying to fight against Ricky Chiado. Ricky's falling down the order. No! You'd love to see the strategy masterclass, but those front three that have been fighting for the win anyway, that have been fighting all race long, go back through ahead. It was gold, but it's just, as he gets drilling into the core, he's found lead. It's not a full solid gold block. It's been gold on the outside, lead on the inside. It's not to be.
I have now almost witnessed 2 complete masterclasses from Ricciardo. It's a shame what has happened here, but who knows? We could see him make
Bobby's
a couple
out.
of
It's in the
moves.
pits.
Bobby,
Never mind.
what? Oh, okay. I thought that was a crash. But no, Ricky, he's still in this. It's not like he's fallen behind. He's still within a second of Nick, who's obviously back in the lead. In the lead for the first time this race. But it's can he stay there? He needs to make the moves. Even if he can just get a podium, this would be incredible for what he's done.
I'm excited to see the way this plays out now, because he's there in the fight. He's there just playing it smart. We have 9 laps to go. No.
9.
I'm excited to see how it's going to play out. But I think with the way it's going, we could see Smith potentially take another victory. Or Ratty, if he can get right there behind the pack, do it for the Kick Salbers. But if he's doing it for the Kick team, he needs to swap positions and let Marius take that victory. I know Ratty's going for his first win, but there's a driver's on the line as well, and Nick's gone wide. I mean, Yasko called it in the chat, if they can keep the pressure on, Nick will make a mistake. And there's a mistake. I mean, he's still got that front wing damage. Will he let his teammate through? Because his teammate also has the drivers to think about, as Marius Anderson does. As Marius Anderson, he's through on his teammate. Myth is coming back, through on the Kick-Sauber, and Marius is net P1, but now Myth goes through into turn 4. Ooh, the pressure's on. There's a snap from Ratty behind. Does manage to correct it well. But Myth goes through, and that's it. It's Myth now retaking what will be net P1 because of time penalties, with how close he is to the field. Marius Anderson to take the lead of the championship on, obviously, the penalties on the board. And the fight for championship is swindling more towards Kick-Sauber yet again. Like the Kicks have just been on form all season long.
Leon is just absolutely pulling away from all these boys now. Gapped to over a second now. DRS is not in play for Nick, but is for everybody else behind. We could be seeing him but get swamped here. Coming up into turn 3, which we are. Maybe 2 moves getting done on him. No. Myth does just... Oh, no, he does. Nick losing 2 places. 1 to Ricky and 1 to Myth, both at turn 3.
Ricky getting a podium there, looking mighty racy. So that strategy he was letting them through, he was not fighting too hard, he doesn't want to burn out those tyres. The man, the legend, the myth, the guy who pulled off a nice times to overtake a class above the rest, no doubt, absolutely. Can Myth pull out this victory? Make it 2 for 2. This will be 2 for 2. And then on to Jeddah for round 10. For 3 for 3 maybe for that Ferrari driver. He's absolutely taking this back quarter of the season for a spin. He's absolutely just taking it for a joyride. He wants to win this entire back half of the season and potentially get up there in the order. I mean, championship, is it on the cards? I don't know, with the points gap. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to do some mathematics at the end of the Grand Prix and see where things go. But he does take a podium, literally, as it is. He will go on to win the race off time penalties. Ricky now needs to try and defend against Marius Anderson. Smith is going to lose out to Marius Anderson. So there we'll see the change in the driver's standings. This is certainly starting to spice up a little bit. Leon, though, did have that 1 second gap, has lost that 1 second gap completely and utterly.
Doing the math, Corey, for you, so you don't have to. There is 45 points separating Myth to our championship leader. Now, mathematically talking, he is able to win the championship.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's a matter of, I think, everyone else ahead of him has to retire from at least 1 or 2 races.
Yeah, they can't score points. They can't score good points in that essence.
No.
Like, it's 3 rounds to go after this. He wins here. It's 2 for 2. It's another 25 points to add to what is 47. So he is on 47 points at the minute. As it stands in with a victory, will jump up into 4th. So Tig will be jumped. Tig no longer driving for us. But, I mean, Marlon Jonas not scoring points. That's a bummer. He will lose out there. So there's nothing Marlon Jonas can do. After that early on crash into the wall, something happened for Marius. We're not sure yet. Maybe get a word of that later on and something before we end the stream. But something he may have posted in the Discord, some form of issue I've not seen as of yet. But it's unfortunate for him. Everybody else is in the points, scoring some form of points. It's just where in the points you're going to finish. You're going to get high points, you're going to get low points. Where are you going to place yourself? And for Myth, this is much needed. Now, Nick, they're trying to make a move through on Ratty just so with Eve Ratty. Nick has dropped out all the way back down the field once again, feeling the pressure, making those mistakes. It was called out in the YouTube chat by Yasko, and he has just felt the pressure, fell down to P6, and Ratty, once again, the driver who's been challenging him all race long, will be challenging him once again. Here goes Myth to take the lead of the race. That will be, nobody can argue with it. Marius Anderson fighting away with Ricky Chiado. Ricky trying to take the position away from Marius Anderson. Marius Anderson trying to fight on through. He does manage to keep it there in P4. Ricky, very, very racy as we get through onto tour 32 of 36. Still 4 laps to go. 4.5 laps to go as we get through the halfway point of Sector 2. So, getting spicy, getting dicey. That's to say the least.
I could be seeing this wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a puncture for Fake Mano. I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a puncture on that top right. He is coming into the pits, possibly to retire.
Yeah, it is. It's blown. It's blown. It's gone.
4 laps to go, obviously. Fake Mano getting the time penalty. I think this is going to be him retiring, unfortunately, for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Ricky, don't die.
Giving everybody a heart attack there.
Jeez, that was spicy. And Myth, he's not out of the woods yet. Leon could force him into a mistake. He's trying to keep that pressure on. Can he force him off the track in a way that doesn't get him a penalty in terms of pressurising him, making him go late on brakes, making him run wide in certain corners within racing standards? Like, could he do it? I don't know. I mean, Mano, I think, has boxed in going for fastest lap because that man is still on the track. Respect
to that, obviously wanting to fight even though he is a minute back from the leader.
Marius Anderson on his championship rival, side by side into turn 9. Oh, AMS Smith dives on through to keep that position, keep the fight on. Marius just needs to keep it in the white lines. He cannot afford any form of mistake. He cannot afford a penalty. This is perfect. He'll get a P2, and that will push AMS Smith into P4, potentially even P5. If Ratty can just get a little bit further up the field, he will jump up to make it a double podium for the Kick-Saubers, doing it for the Constructors, and Marius Anderson exactly where he needs to be in terms of Drivers' Championship.
Very much so for both drivers and constructors. Marius is very much pulling his weight. So is his teammate Ratty. Obviously not quite ahead of Nick just yet. About a second back, I believe. Yeah, close on a second back is Ratty to the constructor rival. He very much wants to find that pace, and I think his teammate wants him to find that pace too, to just knock as many points off of the board for the RB and put them all in favour for their Kick-Saubers.
So, this is looking to be a very, very spicy championship. I want to see, like I said, I want to see Marius Anderson champion. I do. I want to see the Kick-Saubers do it. I want to see them pull it off. They've been absolutely on form all season long. You can't argue with it. Jack has officially been lapped. He's down there in the order, which a minute and 5 behind according to the timing screens. Marius Anderson will take a P2 here as it stands as we get going on the penultimate lap. But the fight is still on at the front. Myth, he's going to take a comfortable victory, but he is still under challenge, still under attack from Leon behind. Leon's not letting him go. Oh, there's a trickle of rain! There's a trickle of rain! It's starting to pour! It's starting to fall! Oh. It's spitting, everybody! It's spitting! It's that fine stuff that gets you wet! Oh, wow, yes, this is going to be a spicy final lap as the grip limits start to fall away. The grip is starting to slip. Leon looks like to be a little bit slidey, though.
Very slidey, very wet indeed. Obviously, those little bits, as you said, are going to make an awful lot of a difference grip-wise for everyone here, as it looks like Smith is already feeling it a little bit.
Well, there we go.
Anderson has a couple looks there over the last, over sector 3 and into turn 1.
Nick, another 3 seconds. He's feeling the pressure. The grip is starting to slip, and he's struggling. Leon's looking for a move on Myth. There's contact between the two, but they stay side by side. Mano's finally been disqualified on track limits, and here we go. The final DRS zone. DRS is still enabled. The grip is still slightly there, side by side for Leon and Myth. And Leon goes on through. Can his 3 second be removed? Is it another victory? Is it back to the top for Leon? That's what I want to know. Could this be a victory for Leon? Does he know the victory's in the bag? Are the track limit warnings removable? And he does fight it out all the way through. We come through turn 8. There's only 2 corners to go as the grip limits slip away. Jack picks picks up another 3 seconds. Leon comes around the final turn and will take it on the track, but from time penalties, it is Myth to make it 2 for 2. Marius Anderson takes P2, but Leon still gets a podium, and it is still back to the top step for the 2-time champion here in Season 3, but Myth makes it 2 for 2. And I am waiting and ready to see it go 3 for 3 in Jeddah. Wow, what a race. That was not to disappoint. That was certainly spicy and dicey. Some contact, some controversial moments, wing damage. But props to Marius Anderson. That damage did not faze him whatsoever. And he's up into P2. And that will be the lead of the drivers' standings as Smith only finishes P5, so that's 10 points, which means 18 over 10. 4 points was the difference. Marius Anderson is 4 points in the lead in the drivers' standings. What a finish.
What a race from lap 1 right through to the very last corner on lap 36. Wheel-to-wheel racing the whole time. As you said, bit of controversy in there. Lots of front end plates going missing, but Marius Anderson just handled it the best. Finished the race with the same front wing he started with, so he had that damage the whole way through from when he got it through to the final quarter, and it was just an incredible drive from the Sauber boy.
Absolutely. And with Ratty finishing P4, that being a subtotal of 30 points over the V-Carbs, what were they? I did take a screenshot. I'm going to pull that up. It was P5, so that's 10, and I think P7. So it's the gap just grows a little bit there for Kick Saubers in constructors. But with 2 cars running on the grid, you know, you can pull back serious points. You get a 1-2 as 25 and 18, mate. That's a huge point for the team. But now we shall go to the interview room and we shall hopefully get a quick little word from the top 3. Myth, Marius Anderson and Leon. Get yourselves in the waiting room. Leon knows the script, so I presume he will already be in the waiting room. And we get going for some interviews, have a quick little chat. We do have Leon, so we'll get you in. No, Leon's in his own VC. If you want interviews, get yourselves in the waiting room.
Oh.
Other than that, that was a good race. That was a very good race. I'm excited to see how this is going to close up now. So from what looked like Tig was going to be a champion, has gone to Smith, to looking like Tig going to be a champion, to Marius Anderson looking like he's going to be the champion. It's just, you know, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But we do have P2 and P3, so we will get going with Leon back to the podium step. P3, however, I need to ask you straight away. Time penalty. Removable?
Yep, easily.
Oh! Yes. If that's removable, my friend, welcome back to Victory Lane.
Hey, the pace and wheels arrived, mate. The pace and wheels arrived. I'm back.
Yes, nice to see. You know, I was saying that, we were mentioning that. You start to the season, the pace wasn't there, you were making that transition, but now you're coming back with a bit of a bang, literally out of nowhere. You're back at the front, like you were Belgium, challenging at the front runners again. I didn't see Baku. I wasn't here for that one. I will have to have a look back on that one. But again, here in Austria, you missed Baku. Never mind. So here, Austria, back to the front. So Belgium, front runner. Baku, front runner, not Baku, Austria, front runner, Saudi Arabia. How are you feeling?
Saudi Arabia, sorry.
Yeah, how are you feeling? Saudi Arabia, front runner, potentially? You feeling quick?
Yeah, of course. I've got to say, I believe in myself. I think I'm the quickest. But Saudi Arabia will be tricky because it's not one of my strongest tracks. I've only done one race there, and that was in season 1. And as most people know, me and AJ had a big crash and a lot of controversy after it.
Absolutely, but again, let's have your rundown on this. How was qualifying? You know, you was P4, so you was there. You was up there at the front runners. You're not quite on for the top 3 finish that you are now. You're saying your penalty removable, so that is victory lane in that essence, providing that all goes well with the stewarding. And, you know, a good in qualifying, struggling for pace a little bit, would you say? Or was it just not to the standard of your race pace?
No, I mean, ever since I've been on wheel, my qualifying pace has never been as good as my race pace. But to be honest, in quali, I only got to do my banker. My second lap, I invalidated sector 3. It was on for a pole by at least the 10th, but I messed up. Pitted, started raining, so
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if it didn't start raining, I'm very confident I would have got pole easily. I think my quali pace is still good, but obviously up to my race pace compared. My race pace is much better than my quali pace now.
Yeah, it's a good running from yourself as well. Like back up here on the podium to say the least. Like unofficially P3. Hopefully after stewarding, you like you say you're confident to be removable. P1. You took it on the track and you were scrapping it out all the way through, swapping positions with Myth as well. He's somebody you know, a driver that's just he's coming. He was looking at 2 for 2 here. He won last time out in Baku, looking to take a victory here in Austria. So what do you think? Somebody you can keep the pressure on with?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've never heard of him, but he's got decent pace and he's got very good racecraft, very good wheel to wheel knowledge, very good awareness, and that's always what you like in a driver. He's a very very good driver, and I respect that. We had a bit of a collision turn 3 last lap, but I tried to give him the position back a little bit without losing too much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's what I've got to say, really.
Well, it's a good finish, a good run from yourself, and of course, obviously, we'll see after the official results are out where you shall eventually finish. But for now, podium P3, beautiful stuff, and congratulations.
Yep.
Pass you on to Ryan for
Happy
any
with it
questions.
anyway.
I do have one thing for you, Leon. Obviously, you're such a young kid, yet you have all this pace. It's not really a question; it's more of a statement. But it's incredible to see that people so young can beat people with the amount of confidence that you have as well on track, versus those who are more senior in age, let's say. I mean, obviously we have people like Ricky who are on the older side, yet you've managed to hold your own against him, as well as obviously the others on there as well. It's great to see, and I'm sure it's a bit of a help for those other younger ones like yourself out there wanting to get into it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate that.
No, he's absolutely right. I've compared you in the past to Piastri with that mindset. I remember him, I think season 1 or season 2, when we were talking about one of your championship fights, like any friends, and you literally quoted "no friends, only enemies." So I know you've got that mentality, and it doesn't surprise me after the first 2 seasons you're on here to see you back up here fighting for victories. And I know you well, so for obviously Ryan being new here in OTLR, he's impressed, and I obviously know the Leon from season 1 and 2 is coming back with a bang in season 3, the back end of season 3. I'm excited for 25, mate. I'm excited for 25, the new game to come.
Me too.
But again, we go on now. P2, Marius Anderson, and we'll now officially can say you are leading drivers' standings by 4 points after a nice little fight, qualifying only at P8, but a good recovery drive, keeping it clean and within those white lines and getting yourself that P2. But Leon feels confident he can get that penalty removed, so could potentially be knocked down to P3 after that squabble at the front. How are you feeling on that one?
Honestly, I don't care if it's P3 or P2. Getting damaged on lap 3 or lap 4, I think. Losing the front right end plate, which was shit. Kinda mudded my race from there, so a podium from that, I'd take it all today, mate.
Yeah, no, it was good recovery, mate. Like the qualifying as well, you was only down in P8. Are you struggling, maybe, or just couldn't get the lap before the rain came?
Oh, mate, I cannot do a quali lap to save my life. I'm just lucky there weren't more drivers today who could beat me, so yeah.
Again, though, race pace proved to be the one getting your recovery drive, and up here on the podium, so you're going to lead in terms of driver standings. You are going to lead at the minute, unofficially until we get the stewarding done and official results are out. So, how are you feeling? Championship on the cards? Is it absolutely all flat out now, flat to the floor? Saudi Arabia, you're looking at winning, do you think? Or, I don't know. It's up in the air, see, I don't know. With Leon coming back with some pace and Myth now a character on the board to challenge against, how are you feeling for Jeddah?
quali, I have no chance against those guys. They're in a different class to me, it seems. But I think races, I can always give them a good fight and a run for their money. So we'll see where that brings me.
Oh, lovely stuff. A good race from yourself. Congrats being back here on the podium, whichever it shall be on the official results. But unofficially, Pito, good points, and you are leading this championship thus far. So on to the final 3 rounds, and hopefully can be your time to take the crown and be a champion.
Thanks, mate.
On to Ryan. Any questions from you?
Yeah, I have got one thing. That damage to your front end plate very early on in the race. How do you think that kind of hindered yourself? Do you reckon you would have been able to kind of pull away a little bit more from the pack if it wasn't for that, or do you think it didn't really have much to play?
Oh yeah, definitely. All the left-handers I had nothing, mate. All understeer could barely stick in the DRS on the hard. So P3 from that or P2 and in the unofficial results is great.
Very good drive, especially with that damage.
Yeah, beautiful recovery. And finally, we get on to Myth, who is the unofficial race victor, and it's 2 for 2 unofficially until we get the official results out and posted. But congratulations, 2 for 2, and yeah, mathematically you are still in the fight for a championship, but you're going to need some unbelievable luck to try and break that 45-point deficit. But a victory here today and looking to be mighty fine. You wasn't on for Paul, but it was close. How was qualifying? Just struggling to find the 10th that could have been to fight on against Smith.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Mixed feeling today, to be fair, because I don't know if I'm getting a penalty for something I did at beat entry. So basically, I might have broke a bit too early, and probably just the Red Bull behind me completely smashed into me. I'm not sure. I have to say it back, but I was quite disappointed with that because it was a good race. Until that point, I I basically spent the 3 laps later, like 3 laps, just thinking about that, and also Marius overtook me because I was just not focusing on the race at all. But yeah, on the other side, it was a good race. Apart from that incident, I had no major collisions, to be fair.
No,
So quite happy with that.
ran a very good race, and then that final scrap with the 2-time champion Marty had. He's won season 1 and season 2 Leon in that final lap. How was that? Were you enjoying that little bit of fight? You mentioned some contact into turn 3, and he conceded some time to at least give that fighting chance back to you. How you? Anything to say on that? Are you just happy with how things went?
Yeah, turn 3, I think maybe it was mentioned in the last lap. Probably we had contact, it hit me in the rear, so made me lose a bit of time on the exit, which wasn't ideal. But I don't think I'm reporting that simply because I mean we drove such a clean race from that point, so I'm not reporting him and just losing him like 5 positions. I'm happy with the P2. I don't know if he's getting a penalty. I wasn't here. Is he?
He had a time penalty which dropped him down to P3, but obviously he crossed the line P1 and you took it on time penalties. But he's confident it can be removed. So after stewarding, when official results are out, if the stewards deem that it is worthy of removal and he's well within those low limits, then he will take that victory and you'll be down to P2. But unofficially, you are the race victor. So we can celebrate it for now until we get the official results, which will come in maybe 1-2 days time. But again, you will see what is to come. How do you feel for Jeddah? This is something I've been asking the drivers recently. You know, round 10, the back half of the season, confident for Saudi Arabia with its 27 treacherous corners to navigate?
Yeah, I mean, it mostly is about racecraft, as always. So just trying to keep it clean. Obviously, if you start at the front, it's better. It's always been a track I liked quite a lot. But I will always try to stay away from troubles and probably stick with a low downforce setup that is helping me in these 2 races, I think. It helped me quite a lot to stay ahead. But yeah, that's that.
Well, lovely stuff, mate. Lovely stuff, I can't say. Congratulations on, unofficially, it's 2 races in a row, 2 victories in a row. You won last time out in Baku, and it's another victory here tonight in Austria. And hopefully, it could be 3 for 3 if it is officially you are the victor here tonight. 3 for 3 next time out in Saudi Arabia. But congratulations, mate, and it's lovely to see all the scraps you've been in, the nice little clean battles that you've had, and yeah, lovely race to say the least.
Yep.
Ryan, anything from you, my
Thank
friend?
Question wise though, but congrats on as Corey said, congrats on the P1 if Leon's time penalty is to stand, and then P2 if it is to be taken away.
Maybe, yeah, P1 if it's not to be taken, P2 to be if it's taken. Yes, absolutely. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we've got. Congratulations, round 9 is done and dusted for season 3, and we are closing off 24 with a bang. I've got to say, Ryan, things have been spicing up. This is certainly an interesting season, but it's never been dull here in OTLR. The championships have been spicy. Who can forget season 1 when it went down to the final round between Glitch 10 and Leon, and then season 2 it was tier 2 that it went through a bit of a phase. It was PC then crossplay, but it ended up being the fastest tier, and you ended up seeing a fight to the end between teammates for championship as Banana took tier 2 championship, but tier 1 championship was Leon yet again. So 2-time champion, he's now back on pace, so do not count him out. He's coming back in these final closing rounds with a bang. We have Myth coming in challenging the front runners. And if you want to be a part of all this action, get yourself in the Discord. Season 4 announcements are coming soon, coming at some point. I wish I could give more information, but be tuned for F125. Thanks for joining me, Ryan, and that is all we've got for tonight. We shall see you, not next week, we have a week break. We shall see you the week after for Saudi Arabia, Jeddah Corniche circuit, my favourite track, and I'm ready to get going.